Doctors overthink everything. I was helping one of my friends get into social media. He saw some of the freedom that I was having and working like whenever I want, wherever I want. And he was like, he's an ophthalmologist and he's, man, maybe I would love to build something like that. Or maybe I want to build my own surgery practice where patients come to me because he saw my private practice set up. And so I was like, bro, you got to get into social media. You got to get into social media. And he was sitting on this for 3-4 months. We would have hour-long conversations about brand building and how to do it. And I just gave him the whole playbook because my thought process was that, okay, this guy, my friend, he'll be my prototype student. And if I can get him started, then I can help other people get started as well. And he would ask questions like, okay, can I come and just watch you film? I was like, bro, it's not that complicated. You just set up your camera, press record, your iPhone, set up, press record, and then talk about whatever topic you want. And he's like, how do I know what topic to talk about? What should I be wearing? What angle do I use? How much of the frame do I put up? What about captions? What about the background? He's asking all of this stuff. And I was like, dude, just record. I give a talk on breaking down the limiting beliefs that physicians have on social media. So I've given this talk twice at 2 separate conferences. And one of the points that I make in that talk is that when you are getting started on social media, the most important thing that you can do is just press record and talk. Because as doctors, we overthink and analyze everything. And this is what helps us be successful in our jobs, of course. Right? We have to look at all the variables and look at all the little bitty nitty things, whether it's in internal medicine, like those rounds, right? Where you spend 2 hours just analyzing and dissecting each little lab, to obviously in surgery where any little micro detail matters, to my field in psychiatry, little things that the patient says or does can be very important depending on context. But that does not apply when it comes to content creation because there's a phenomenon called analysis paralysis, where the more options you have, the more time you spend thinking about something, then actually the less likely it is that you are going to accomplish it. Think about when you're watching Netflix. I remember I've had instances where I'm trying to decide what to watch on Netflix and I end up wasting 30 minutes and not even watching anything because there's so many good things. Oh yeah, this would be good and this would be good and this would be good. But I remember back in the days when plane movies did not have a lot of options. Let's say they had maybe 5-6 movies, like early days. There wasn't much choice. And so paradoxically, it was a lot easier to choose something and I'll probably end up enjoying it more. But yet if I had 100 options or 1,000 options, I probably wouldn't enjoy that one thing because I'd be like, oh, but what if I done this? What if I done that? I think the same about video games as well. Back when I was a kid, right? Like obviously we didn't have that much money. And so when I picked out a game, it was like a decisive decision. Okay, I'm picking up this game. And then when I picked up this game, I would delve deep into it and I would love it. Now, as an adult, as an attending, obviously I can buy any game I want to. And so it's a lot harder for a game to hook me. I have a PlayStation Plus subscription, which is basically like Netflix for PlayStation games. And so like I have hundreds, thousands of games on demand. So it's like, I don't want to play any of them. But the point being is that the analysis paralysis, similarly with when people are trying to go to the gym, they'll ask questions like, what shoes do I need? What workout do I do? What time of day do I go? I need to get my diet. Do I need a trainer? And like, mother effer, just act 50% dumber and just go to the gym. Just go. And you'll start figuring out that stuff along the way. Right now, I'm learning boxing. And one of the things that my coach told me is that, okay, especially when I was starting a month ago, he said, okay, you're way too tight. Your legs are way too tight. You're like stiff. You're punching, you're very stiff. Just loosen up, relax, it's okay. And so that's what I've been focusing on. Is don't overthink, don't like worry about what other people are saying. Don't try to like pray out your punches perfectly. Just relax, flow effortlessly. And so that's what I've been working on. So now, like I just feel much more light on my feet. I can move around easier. If I punch, I can punch much easier. And the reason is because I was overthinking. And now I just focus on getting loose and then just like getting better each step of the time. Similarly, if you're trying to make content, you're scared about posting on social media, you're worried about all these things, the most important thing that you can do is just get started. Just start posting. Because I'll tell you, some of the best videos that I've had are where I've literally just pulled up the camera and yapped. Like, for example, I remember one very specific video. I was in India at the time. I had just gotten a hair transplant. I was like obviously not in best health, recovering from surgery. My hair was all messed up, got all the plugs in. And I was like, you know what? I just feel like making a video on something. I was thinking about something. And so I recorded a video on gabapentin. And I just literally pulled up my phone. I remember stepping outside and I just was talking. And so it was like a 1-minute video. And that video ended up getting over 2 million views on TikTok. I had another video where I discussed, like I was at work and I just left work and I had this idea. I was like, ooh, let me talk about this. It was basically like my thoughts on drinking and smoking and using substances. I forget what exactly I said in the video, but it was inspired by like a patient we'd seen that day. And I was like, oh, let me make a video on this. And so I literally, I got in my car, right? I was just in my normal work clothes, got in my car. Obviously the lighting was not the best. I didn't have a microphone and I just talked. And that video got over 500,000 views. And so I've had other videos where I've scripted it and had it be much more optimal, and they didn't get nearly the same amount of attention. And so the reason is because I think it's almost paradoxical. The less you think about it, the more authentic it comes across. Imagine if you're in a date situation or you're talking to a friend situation or hanging out or talking to your kids or whatever it is. Imagine if you overthought and you think about it too much and you plan out what you're gonna say. Imagine going into a conversation with someone you know and you've rehearsed it. That would be weird. The best conversations with friends, strangers, whatever, are when things are just spontaneous and you guys are just riffing, right? We've all had those moments. So it's almost the same thing with social media, is that almost you're gonna do better on it. You're gonna get more views, more followers, more clout, more whatever it is that you want, like more freedom, the more real, authentic, and open you are. And this applies to all of us. All of us doctors are like this. And my dad's an engineer. And so he had a friend who asked him he's building this library of career counseling. And so just different career advice from different professionals. And so this friend asked my dad to give an engineering video. This was over a month and 2 months ago. My dad's been talking about this engineering video for ages. And I'm like, have you made the video? No. Have you made the video? No. Just been sitting on it. And so yesterday he was like, oh, can I borrow the studio so that way I can make a video and make sure everything's good? I was like, dude, you don't need that. You just need to record. You just need to get your phone and record. And I literally demonstrated. I pulled up my phone and I was like, okay, so today I'm an engineer. I've been working here for 30 years. So if you're trying to get into engineering, what you got to understand is that, okay, it's a very math-based field. So you should understand mathematics and you should understand physics, but you should also make sure your internships are good, because ultimately where you intern is probably where you're going to be working. I just started yapping like that. And I'm not a talker. I am an introvert through and through. I don't like talking. But the point is that there should be such less execution between thinking about it and getting it done. I listen to a lot of entrepreneur podcasts, and I've heard a lot of them talk about speed of implementation. And what that means is that as soon as you think about it, as soon as the idea comes, boom, you should be on it. You should not sit on it. The idea for this video right now, I was showering. I just came back from boxing. I was showering and I was like, oh yeah, that would make a good video. And so I come downstairs. My mom was like, hey, do you want to eat something? I was like, no, I want to record. I want to record this video right now. And here I am recording this video, because speed of implementation, you don't want to overthink. As soon as you have the idea, right, you want to record it as fast as possible. And ultimately that's what's going to make the content better. You'll overcome any kind of anxieties that you have about posting. I was talking about the successful entrepreneurs, right? They basically, when they have an idea, they implement it instantly. They'll do it quick. I've heard a lot of this is paradoxical, but I've heard entrepreneurs say that the more busy people are, the more high level they are, sometimes the faster they text. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. A CEO or something would be so busy that they wouldn't have time to text. But yet when I was at my last private practice, the owner of the practice, he had 300, 400 employees, clinics all around the country. And so when I would text him or email him, he would respond back than pretty much any other employee in the company. And so I observed that phenomenon in real life, and I was like, huh. And it's because the most successful people, right? Like they're always just go. And if the text comes, boom, they'll just take care of it right now. They're not going to sit on it and wait and respond 2-3 days later. Whereas I have friends who just have like standard jobs, and not to shit on them or anything, just normal people. And I know you're not that busy. And like they might spend 2 days to get back to you. And I was like, okay, like it's whatever. And sometimes even I do this too. But it's just something that I learned is that when you have the idea, when you want to do something, the quicker you do it, boom, the faster you can implement it, the more successful it's going to be. And even if it's not successful, you can course correct much quicker. So I hope that this is helpful, especially if you've thought about starting on social media, you've had some doubts, just literally get started, just post. It doesn't have to be perfect. There's a girl, and there's an NP in my PMHNP Academy right now. And so she'll message me questions because she's like trying to get into social media. And so she'll be like, what do you think of this? Or, hey, I'm not sure about this video. I was like, okay, just post for 30 days and then talk to me, then get back to me. And I checked her account, and oh no, she was worried about views. She was like, oh, I'm only getting 500 views. I'm like, you just started. Just post. Don't overthink, just post. And I checked, I told her post for 30 days. And I checked, and she only posted twice and then forgot. And then not forgot, but just didn't do it. So I was like, okay, you do it so quickly and you make it feel like the way it should be is that when you make a social media post, it should feel like no big deal. Like it's literally whatever. And that's when you're ultimately going to be successful with it. So I hope that this is helpful. And my goal with this channel is to really empower physicians to take back control from these employers and the industry that's basically just keeping them down, keeping us locked up, keeping us chained, keeping us burned out, basically just exploiting our labor financially. Things have not been looking up for physicians. Yeah, we're stable, but we're not like rich by any means. Every other profession is starting to outpace us, right? Especially in this online economy. And the amount that we studied for is not commensurate to the amount that we get paid, right? Like little athletes, college kids, 22-year-olds, people watch them, and singers and all this crap. Like we're the doctors, like we should be the ones who are getting rewarded for all the effort that we do and the care that we bring to society. But that's, as we all know, that's not the case. But anyway, that's a whole separate rant. So my goal is here to basically just encourage doctors to get on social media and just start posting, just to get back some freedom in their life, build influence, build authority, so that way they can do whatever they want with their career instead of feeling trapped in their job situation. So I hope that this is helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.